Good morning, student. Myself, Dr. Ambrapali Pundlik Bhagat, Assistant Professor at Botany Department, LPPC Risod, Washim from Maharashtra, India. Today we are going to start our Botany Semester 1 Bridge course, which makes you easily understand the whole syllabus of Botany Semester 1, and then you become familiar with botany subject. So, first of all of you listen carefully. So, today's topic is instrumentation for beginners and objective of syllabus. So, within this semester 1 syllabus, this paper has many more things to understand. Within that, the microbial diversity, algae and fungi to be acquaint students with basic concepts of microbial diversity of bacteria, viruses and other microbes. Within this you will doing studies, that is systematic position, structure and function of algae and fungi with other higher plants, that is bryophyte, pteridophyte, gymnosperm and angiosperms. So one by one we see this. So this image is showing you a algae which is important for knowing about their habitats. They are living in water, and here are the some examples of algae. And here is the some multicellular algae that is called as a chara, and this chara showing globule, nucule, vegetative filaments and the germination of chara. When you are going to know about all these things at that time, after you are going to successful completion of the course, and then all students are expected to understand the basic microbial structure, and you will able to comparatively learn characters of prokaryotes, eukaryotes and also understand the structural similarity as well as differences. So the next slide is showing living representative of pteridophytes with heterosporous condition. So some are these: Selaginella, Isoetes, Marcellia, Azolla and like many more. Then the below slide is showing Bryophyta, that is Anthoceros and Rixia, then aquatic pteridophyte, that is Salvinia and Azolla, and pteridophyte, that is Pteris and Adiatum. So these are the different type of genus which are found in cryptogams. So first of all, within this paper of the semester 1, that is you can able to know what is meant by cryptogams, which type of plants groups are included in cryptogams, and then you are going to towards the type study, means all the character, structure, function and their complete life cycle. So when we are going to study the differences among various physiological group of bacteria, archibacteria, and then you know general bacteriology, microbial aspects, and you will pertain to bacteria, fungi and algae, which are primitive plants. Then you understand the life cycle pattern of algae, fungi to study the useful and harmful bacteria and viruses. So here is the slide which showing various different types of pteridophytes, and below that there is the slide which showing all the plant kingdom, which includes many more different type of plants, that is algae, bryophyte, pteridophytes, which are included in a division cryptogams, and below that there is a gymnosperm and angiosperm, which are larger plants or complex or higher plants. So one by one we are going to know about each and everything. So first of all, what is botany? The botany, it is a science of plants. This, when we are know about science, at that time we see many more plants around us, and when we are going to study about them, that is a botany. A person engaged in the study of botany is called as a botanist. This botany covers a wide range of systematic disciplines including structure, growth, reproduction, metabolism, development, various diseases, chemical properties, and evolutionary relationship among various taxa or taxonomic groups. Then, botany begins with early human efforts to identify edible, medicinal, and poisonous plants, which making it one of the oldest branch of science. So this is some introductory part. Then it is estimated that there are at least 260,000 species of plants in the world today, which are found all over the earth planet. They ranges in size and complexity of small 1-inch tall mosses to giant sequoia trees, the largest organism on earth, growing as tall as 100 meters. Then through that we have evolved from the many more different type of taxas, and likewise the plants are evolved from green algae. These plants have been around since the early Paleozoic era. They are developed, and more than 500 million years ago they are evolved over Earth planet. The earliest fossil evidence of land plants dates the Ordovician period, that is 505 to 438 million years ago. So in this way we are going to know how they are developed on Earth planet, how they evolved from smallest plants, microscopic plant, to the giant trees. By this, the Carboniferous period, which is starting about 355 million years ago, most of the earth was covered by the forest of primitive vascular plants such as lycopods. These are the scaly small trees, and the gymnosperm, which are pine trees as like a jingos. Then after that there is a development of angiosperm, which are a dominant plant, and nowadays they are found on all over the earth planet. So this angiospermic flowering plants did not develop till the end of Cretaceous period. They developed about 65 million years ago, just the dinosaur become extinct. And here is the small plates or image which can give you idea about ferns, then mosses, then some algae, and how they are looking like. So this flowering plant is nothing but an angiospermic plant. These are a monocotyledon. These are a coniferous plants, and within these coniferous there are many more different types of structures, so you have to see this carefully. Then plants can be divided into two basic groups, that is vascular and non-vascular. So what is meant by vascular plants? They are considered to be more advanced than non-vascular plants because they have specialized tissues, namely xylem, which is involved in structural support and water conduction. Then phloem, which doing function in a food conduction. They also have root, stems and leaves which representing a high form of organization. This is all about a vascular plants which are highly developed plants. Then come towards the non-vascular plants. Non-vascular plants are that members which have the division of bryophyta. Then mosses are usually no more than 1 to 2 inch tall because they do not have specialized tissue for support and nutrient transports. They are more dependent on their environment to maintain appropriate amounts of moisture and tend to inhabit damp, shady areas. So this is all about plants. Then come towards their life cycles. So these life cycles are also termed as alternation of generation. So what is meant by alternation of generation? It occurs in all plants. A haploid gametophyte generation with a single chromosome set which produce gametes via mitosis, and the union of gametes produce diploid sporophyte generation with two pairs of chromosome, which in turn produce spores via meiosis, and this is called as alternation of generation. So this alternation of generation have also called as life cycle, and they have many more stages. So within this, any reproductive process that does not involve meiosis or fertilization is said to be asexual or vegetative reproduction. Then the absence of fertilization means that such an event occur in the sporophytic generation or the gametophyte stage. Then when we are going to know about a life cycle or alternation of generation, at that time this diagram will help you to know how they are developed from single zygote. So at that time, here is the small spores which are going to germinate. So this is the diagrammatic representation of a plant. At that time, this is the meiosis. These spores are germinate into a prothallus, which is also called as a gametophyte, and within bracket there is a small there is a N which can represent that is a haploid plant. Then at that time there is a starting of a gametophytic generation. At that then there is a development of a archegonia. So this is an archegonia which develops eggs, and this is a antheridium which can develop into a antherozoids. When they become unite, at that time we call that is a fertilization, and after fertilization there is a development of a zygote. This zygote again represent 2n condition, that is means they have a two sets of chromosome, which is also called as a pair of a chromosome. And at that time, after a zygotic condition, that zygote is going to be developed into an embryo, and that is also represent in a 2n number. And after that there is a development of a new plant which is called as a equisetum. This equisetum also develops a tubers, which is a vegetative type of reproduction, and this is the sporophytic generation. And within that sporophytic generation they also develop strobilus, which are producing 2n means two set of chromosome within a spores or a sporangiospore that can develop into a sporangia, and each and every sporangial mother cell develop a meiotic gametes. This is called as a life cycle or alternation of a generation. And here is the again second life cycle, that is Funaria. This Funaria is a sporophyte. This is the first plant, complete gametophytic plant, and these sporophyte develop into a spores. After that spores, they germinate into a protonema. That protonema again developed into a gametophyte. That gametophyte develop into a male gametophyte branches and female gametophyte branches, and they can develop into antheridium or archegonium. Both can develop a small spores, that is a sperms and egg. So after the union of these two gametes, there is again development of a gametophytic plant, sporophytic plant. So this is two different type of examples of a alternation of generation. Then plants are the foundation of the earth ecosystem. What is mean by that? The plants are not a gift from anyone. They are founded on earth planet. They are going through small gradual evolutionary process, and without them they becomes complex animal life such as human beings, and also human beings could not survive without them. All living things are depend either directly or indirectly on the energy produced by photosynthesis, and the byproduct of this process, that is oxygen, which is essential to each and every animal for survival. So the plant also reduce the amount of carbon dioxide which is present in the atmosphere, and reduce soil erosion, then influence water levels and quality. So these plants which are present on earth planet, they are more important for the human beings. This is all about plants, and in next lecture we know about how they fluctuate, how they influence the life of other animals. In this way, today we have to stop here, and I hope you will be understand each and everything. Otherwise, if you have any difficulty, then ask me your queries and question on our Moodle class of Botany department. Till then, goodbye. Thank you for watching my video, and stay safe at your home.